Boom! What's going on, guys? Energy News Beat, episode number 169, here on this gorgeous Monday, November 30th, 2020. As always, I am your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, Stuart Turley. How's your weekend, man?
It's absolutely beautiful. I'm glad to be back at work, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is a great day in the neighborhood. You guys can go and check out our rundown here. We got a couple things to cover. Stu's going to dive into everything OPEC Plus. That's really the main story today. We have M&A action, Contango Oil and Gas getting in on a little M&A. We'll cover all of that. We'll cover everything on equity markets. But first, guys, just subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that pesky subscribe button and the notifications button for sure. Never miss an episode. We really appreciate everybody who supports the show. And you can find all of this stuff via the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com. Yeah, equities markets today was actually down, both Dow Jones in terms of our blue chip stocks, lots of selling that happened. Nasdaq actually was fairly flat today, about a quarter of a percentage point down for the S&P. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we had a really strong November, and I think the fundamentals, there's been this struggle between the bulls who have been using the vaccine news to drive these markets to all-time highs. We saw 30,000 last week. Hey, 30,000, I love it. Bring it on home. But really, today, I think that breath is finally coming out. Now, a couple interesting things that happened on the U.S. side. The Trump administration is weighing blacklisting two Chinese companies. One of them is CNOOC, National Offshore Oil and Gas Producer, the Chinese National Oil and Gas Corporation, or as CNOOC, as we like to call it over here. It would basically limit their access to American investors, and really what it would do is just kind of make those tensions choppy as we move over. So sentiment on the equity side, specifically on the energy side, and more of that macro play, does not look good. When we move over into the specific oil and gas sector, the fundamentals on pricing has kind of shifted both from bullish now to bearish. We're now about 1% down, 45.10 for crude oil right now. That was, we saw 46 Friday coming in here, or 46 Thursday. Sentiment was a little off Friday. Now rolling in. The news is beginning to wane a little bit. It looks like there's going to be, it's going to be a while before everybody's vaccinated. If you're talking March, April, May, June, until maybe everybody can get it, man, I mean, some of this run up we've seen in oil and gas was little enough, that the bears are holding on to global oil stocks at an all time high, and they seem to sort of be winning the tussle. It'll be interesting to see we come out, 45 even for the back end of the curve. Talk about a flat curve. Natural gas had itself a day, though, $2.93, up 3.38 percentage points. Part of the reason is colder weathers. We've escaped what was it's been a crazy November. Stocks have been up huge. It's been really warm, and I don't know if you've noticed it where you are, Stu. In Colorado, we've had it's wildly warm. We usually get a lot more snow. Hopefully, I'll be able to hit the slopes next weekend. But I mean, it's December, and we're talking. That's when we can't even get out in there, and they're still pumping snow up there. I was reading the snow report. Sorry, they have to create snow. So hopefully December is going to be a lot cooler. It looks like there's a cold front coming in throughout the Midwest and the Northeast. It was rainy all day on the East Coast this morning. That's going to help bring natural gas prices and an expected draw coming up. Like I said, $2.94. Natural gas bulls see some uplift there. $2.92 on the back end. XOP was down huge, though, 6 percentage points. After seeing really intense gains over the past month, boom, 6% sell, 54.06, OIH 137.90. That's 6 percentage points on the downside. Just for all you people wanting to know, the Bitcoin was up 16 percentage points today, 19,000. We're starting doing Bitcoin pricing on here because it just creeps me out. $2,000 in one trading session. I should have got my hands on that stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the biggest movers on the equities. Magnolia was down 10 percentage points. Laredo down 10 percentage points. BTU, Peabody Energy down 16 percentage points. And our favorite Chinese, CNOOC Limited, they're down 19 percentage points off the back of potential increased sanctions. On the upside, though, still some numbers being made. Midcon Energy Partners, they're up 4 percentage points off the back of, remember, they're going to this merger with Contango. Now there's some more stuff on the back end with this deal that we'll cover after Stu's on the news desk. Tensco Gas up 5 percentage points. Transatlantic Petroleum up 7 percentage points. Contango was actually up 1.2 percentage point on the news. But before we dive into the international news desk, guys, this show is powered by Data Gumbo. They are an award-winning technology company with customers all around the world who limit, build, manage, and automate their own smart contracts. Data Gumbo Smart Contracts offers a new approach to the commercial relationship, one that reduces friction to streamline operations, increase transactional certainty, and increase cost savings. Every transaction is certain. accurate, touchless, automated, and powered via their Gumbo net. Go get yourself a big helping of Data Gumbo via their website, www.datagumbo.com. What's going on with OPEC, Stu? Big meeting that happened today. What do we need to know?
Oh my goodness, Michael, buckle up. I would not want to be OPEC management. I mean, this is worse than a fourth grade class. I mean, you'd almost have to get a stick, beat them about the eyes and face. This is horrible. The 13 membership organization of OPEC, and then you have the other one, OPEC Plus. They had their meeting. OPEC Plus, quote, seems unable to reach an agreement. This is, quote, at least in the up to today's meeting, they have not still reached the agreement. That said, the oil market firmly believes that the current production cuts will be maintained for at least another 3 months, quote from Weinberg. Here's the problem, Michael. None of their members are absolutely, none of them are stopping production. Here's a little bit of a fact. Libya, as you and I talked about, hit 1.2 million. They'll hit 1.3 million barrels per day overproduction.
Yep.
The other one, Iran and Venezuela have overproduced. The one that the UAE has supplied 90,000 barrels per day.
Everyone, they're all over the place.
They're all over it, Michael. So they may have had a meeting today. The only quote that came out of there says we're going to maintain our cuts, and everybody else is going, what cuts?
Yeah, what? And as you can see, I mean, market today is, again, I think they're reacting to the fact that the production cuts, there's not going to be support. I don't think cuts are coming out of this, is what it looks like to me as a trader, right? You think that's the sentiment? Okay. You're tapped into this stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, they're going OPEC plus leaders. We are having a Yoda. You are reducing production. Here's everybody else. No, you're not. So no, if this is a Star Wars thing, you're reducing production. Go away. No, there's no way. Okay, we're going on to the next story, Michael, because they don't have control. All right, China's first domestically made nuclear reactor. Okay, you got to love this. Oh, this is cool. It's called the Hulong 1. Okay, if it was a hula hoop, it'd be called the Hulong 1 hula hoop. Goes online. All right. Are you ready for this one?
Hit me with it.
Some of the nuggets in here. They have 47 nuclear plants.
Really?
They're the third world's largest after the United States and France. Wow. They generate 48 million kilowatts out of them bad dogs. And guess what? They have 13 more nuclear. The key is this is the first one that they made without any assistance from foreign countries. That means they are now nuclear independent. And I'm very happy for them. So maybe they can help meet their carbon neutral by 2050 when you have abs.
Yeah, I was like, no, let's move it off. I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm becoming bigger as quarantine is settling back in.
Oh yeah, it ain't happening.
I'm going in the opposite. If BP's going this way, I'm going this way with my abs.
Oh, absolutely. My head's getting bigger. I can't even get out of my office. Hey, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries just invested in Monolith Materials. For those that don't know, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries makes a lot of ships. They make big things. And this Monolith Technology is actually a US-based company. And I thought this was kind of interesting. They were founded in 2012. They developed a process that converts natural gas into clean hydrogen and solid carbon material called carbon black. Go figure that out. But it says they will save 1 million metric tons per year, according to traditional manufacturing processes. So you have a heavy industry saving 1 million metric tons. I call that a good thing.
We do love saving money. That's it for you? Well, we've got a light U.S. shale. I mean, a lot of the stuff was reacting to some of this OPEC stuff. Two things that came across on the midstream side. Tellurian gets a new CEO. Octavius Simone's named as new president, chief executive officer. Two new independent board members, Jonathan Gross and Jean Abotul. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's French. But he's really smart. He's really smart. But I don't know. He used to be. Yeah, it's French. Paris-based international group LNG importers. He's very executive capacities. He's also been the executive officer of Cheniere Energy. So, I mean,
Wow.
pretty experienced team. Former president CEO Meg Gentle is now departing the company. So, change of leadership over there at Tellurian. One thing really, I think, biggest story of the day, Contango Oil and Gas announced the acquiring of Oily, who has resources in the Bighorn, Permian, Powder River Basin. They were owned by a bank. $58 million transaction. Contango goes ahead and sells 14 million shares of common stock, which common stock, folks, this is the interesting part. Straight common stock for this trade, 22 million in new equity raised. Interesting. Not debt.
Whoa.
Not debt, equity. Somebody's bullish natural gas. Maybe it's our boy Jay Young. Shout out to Jay Young, owner of King Operating. We had him on the show today. We recorded. We'll release that in 2 weeks. This reeks of a Jay Young deal. Natural gas, baby. I mean, it makes sense. If you believe natural gas will continue to rise, this is the Contango Oil and Gas buying some equity. It's not a bad choice. Me, I'm skeptical. But I'm skeptical of most projects. So don't take me. My investment is generally don't invest. So that makes me a pretty bad financial advisor. It's why I don't financially advise people. So go somewhere else.
Bank robbery sounds good. I mean, you have alluded that I saw your new mask collection.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to be a bank robber. I would be snatched up quick. Did we miss anything today?
No, it's. I think I'm so glad to be back to work. It's pathetic.
I am. I mean, one of the things I know that's upcoming, specifically in the Denver region, January 15th, guys, is when SP 112 goes ahead and actually goes into effect. Remember last week, the Colorado Oil and Gas Commission approved an overhaul of all of the state's permitting rules. So we're going to be following this. Remember, there's a backlog of about 6,000 permits that have sort of just built up. As this rolls out, because you can get your permits in before January 15th. Guess what? You're not stingent to that. So, we kind of called this a couple. Well, yeah, I mean, think about it, Stu. If the law comes in the 15th, might as well permit up a couple wells, get them in the pipeline, so that if you end up in because I think you get a year, I think it's like 18 months you get on permits before you have to convert them into a thing. Because there's the form. I at one point looked into this. There's the Form 5, which is the pending permits. Then there's what's called the Form 5A, which is an actual. They give you I looked into this at one point. It's been at one point, instead of just saying, "Hey, we're going to drill a well at some point on this lease," you have to give your spud location on there. And I don't know what the name of the form, but there's kind of a process you go through, bringing it from a permitted well to now you've actually got the land and then you've spudded it and all that jazz. So it'll be interesting to dive into more, but we're going to be covering this heavily on the news desk. But with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Let you guys get back to work, finish your day. Thank you for checking us out. The world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. We will see you guys tomorrow for another episode.